Hi everyone, it's me, Arielle, and it's Wednesday Warriors, and today I'm going to be talking about knowing your limits in regards to paraphernalia that is in your home. And by paraphernalia, I mean scales, mirrors, types of food, things like that. So that's what I'm going to be talking about this week. I apologize, I'm making these videos lately in my bathroom simply because it has the brightest light in my whole house, and it gets dark here really early, as I'm sure it does for most of you. You know, it's dark by the time I get home from work. I get out of work at 5 o'clock at night. It's way too dark to stand by any window in my house because it's completely nighttime outside, and a lot of the lights in my house just give me this eerie kind of glow, and it doesn't really give the video happy quality. So that's why I'm in my bathroom. Hope you understand. Knowing your limits is really important, and it can be really difficult because knowing your limits is sort of the crux of so many issues, eating disorders aside. Don't you wish sometimes that you didn't have any mirrors in your house, or that you didn't have any scales in your house, or a certain type of food in your house, but you just can't really bring yourself to get rid of those things? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about. But you have to keep in mind, you guys can do this. This isn't something that you have to work toward. You can do this today. This isn't one of those videos where I sort of tell you how you can get beyond issues and how these things take time and all the different steps you have to take to work toward a certain point. This is something that you can do as soon as you're done watching this video, but you have to be brave enough to do it, you have to be bold enough to do it, and you have to have the desire to want to do it. It's amazing how many things in your home can be unhealthy. I mean, in your very own home. And the key word is unhealthy. And what makes something unhealthy is if you use it for something other than its purpose, or you use it to the extreme. You know, you overuse something. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is mirrors. What I suggest is starting off one day a week where you're not going to use any mirrors. Mirrors are not going to be a part of your day. And it's going to be pretty difficult, but it's something so doable, especially if you know you can use mirrors tomorrow. You know, it's just one day a week. It can kind of like comfort you into being able to try it. So as far as the mirror thing goes, I know that you know, sometimes you need to look in a mirror for at least 5 minutes before you can leave the house in the morning or something like that. If that's the only thing that you're going to use a mirror for in your whole day, so be it. You know, wake up, spend as brief amount of time in front of the mirror as you possibly can. Make sure you check yourself and make sure, you know, you're not picking yourself apart and standing in front of that mirror longer than you need to on your mirrorless day. But if you have to look at yourself quickly before you have to leave the house just to make sure you look presentable or what have you, go for it. But other than that, don't look in a mirror when you pass it. Don't look in a mirror in your car. Don't come home and look in the mirror. Don't look in the mirror when you take a shower that night or that afternoon. Just anytime you pass a mirror, either turn away from it or make a conscious effort not to look in it. If you have smaller mirrors, cover them up. This is only for a day. You can do it. And then see how much better or how different you feel on the day where you don't look in a mirror. You can even do this on a Saturday or, you know, a weekend day when you don't have to go out of the house, when you don't have to go to work or to school, so that you don't really need to have a mirror be a part of your day. Now, I know that mirrors are not a triggering thing or an unhealthy thing for everyone. I know that's certainly not the case. For a lot of people with body image issues, they are. Or for a lot of people who dislike themselves, really hate themselves, mirrors can be pretty tricky. Mirrors can be a hard thing to get rid of in your life, but keep in mind, it's just a test, it's only for a day, and if you like the way you feel, or if you can see a change in your mood or in your day because you really limit your mirror exposure, try having a mirrorless day once a week, every week. You know, there's 7 days in a week. If 6 of those days you use the mirror as frequently or overuse the mirror as frequently as you do, but one day you're mirror free or essentially mirror free, that's amazing. And you know, if you're not a person that abuses the mirror, that's great, but if you are, it's something you should try. Okay, scales. Scales are something that I think a lot of us can relate to as abusing them, overusing them, or, in my opinion, using them at all. Not necessary. We don't need a scale to live. We don't need a scale to tell us our self-worth. We don't need a scale to dictate what kind of a day we're going to have. We don't certainly need to step on a scale multiple times in a day or even multiple times in a week. And I know that a lot of people do this. I personally don't really ever weigh myself anymore. I used to be completely obsessed with the scale years ago. But for sort of the same technique I was talking about with the mirror, you can have a scaleless day, a day where you do not step on that scale. It's going to be pretty hard, but again, if you know that tomorrow you can step on that scale whenever you want to again, maybe you can go one day without the scale. Try it. You don't have anything to lose. It's something that you can do right away. It's extremely easy to abuse scale use. It's extremely easy to let the number determine something about your mood or your day or yourself or your well-being, and it shouldn't. The scale is an object, has nothing to do with you, it has nothing to do with your beauty, your mind, your soul, and most importantly, a scale is not necessary for you to live. And I think a lot of people feel that they can't live without a scale, but it's just your thinking. It's not true at all, and I challenge you to try to go one day each week without getting on that scale. If a scale is something that you overuse, that is unhealthy in your home. And I think for a lot of people, a scale is an unhealthy object in their home, and they can't quite bring themselves to toss the scale completely to get rid of it. But if you can go one day each week without getting on that scale, you're gaining back a little bit of power for yourself instead of giving it over to that scale, relinquishing it to that scale. And maybe one day you'll be able to go more than one day without the scale, and hopefully one day you won't even need that scale at all, and you'll just step on it from time to time to sort of see how things are going. Another thing that can be unhealthy in our homes that we can abuse or overuse is types of food. For people that have problems with binging or people that have problems with binging and purging, they have foods that trigger them into these behaviors. Everyone has different foods. It's going to be something different from everyone. I'm not going to, list certain foods, but you know that there are certain things you don't want to keep in the house because they trigger a certain kind of behavior. So if you do have them there, it's something that you're abusing. Another thing would be sort of the opposite, is if you don't eat certain foods and you cannot bring yourself to eat those foods because they're not safe or they're not this or they're not that, have a day where you allow yourself to have a bite of something that you don't typically allow yourself to have. Other things in your home that can be dangerous or unhealthy: magazines. Pictures of things that you don't need to be seeing to make you feel worse about yourself. We all know the sorts of things I'm talking about. There are certainly many beautiful things that you can have up in your home that promise a lot better things than certain pictures in magazines. Another thing would be exercise equipment. I know a lot of people that over-exercise, and it's really easy to do if you have a piece of exercise equipment in your own home. So you have to make a plan for yourself, and you have to sometimes say, this is my day off, this is my break. I'm not getting on there today because I work out far too much every other day of the week. And you can start small like this. It's really not a tangible goal if you say, I'm stopping cold turkey right now. It's not realistic. And you have to set those small goals for yourself, like one day a week is going to be free. One day a week is going to be without a scale. One day a week will be without abusing your mirror use. One day a week will be without exercising. The things I'm talking about are just examples, and you know better than anyone else the things that are in your house that are unhealthy, because if they are dangerous to your recovery, if they sort of help your eating disorder along, there are things that you shouldn't be doing on a regular basis or at all. There are things that you shouldn't have in your house. Just like a recovering drug addict wouldn't keep drugs lying around his or her house. We can't keep certain things in our houses, or we can't use them or abuse them. The greatest and easiest thing you can do is make your home safe. This is the place where you spend most of your time. If that's not safe, where are you going to be safe? Take responsibility, make your home safe, Get rid of the things that you're abusing that are dangerous, that are unhealthy, or limit the things that are natural objects to keep in a home but can be abused and can be unhealthy when not used the right way.